I just don't think that traveling in Taiwan is nearly as cost efficient as it was in, say, South Korea and Vietnam. Plus, there's the logistics of it all. And that's what we're going to get into today. Ready?
Let's go. Hello, beautiful people. I'm Leah.
I'm Justin.
Thank you for joining us and welcome to our channel.
We're an American expat couple that lives and works abroad, and currently we're on Green Island, Taiwan. Leah and I haven't been traveling the way we'd like since living in Taiwan, and there's a few factors for that. Obviously, the pandemic, and then of course I've been in and out of the hospital, and I just don't think that traveling in Taiwan is nearly as cost efficient as it was in, say, South Korea and Vietnam. Plus, there's the logistics of it all, and that's what we're going to get into today. Even though COVID has been managed quite well here in Taiwan, it still presented an issue when it comes to traveling domestically here within this country itself.
People initially weren't traveling as much. It was a little bit of a taboo. People were more focused on their due diligence and making sure that everybody else was safe. So just being able to pick up and go when the country was really focused on social distancing, not so much on weekend trips or weekend getaways, I think that impacted our travel as well.
Oh, absolutely. And whenever the travel restrictions lessened a little bit here in Taiwan, I was in the hospital, so we really didn't have the opportunity to travel then.
I don't know if you guys know that Justin's condition that we talked about in a few YouTube videos back has actually been something that we've been dealing with for over a year.
Sorry, it's my brain's fault. I didn't do this, it did. Just saying.
Okay. It's our first time hiking, and I want to say that we're not in the shape that we were when we were in Korea.
Oh, no. Korea,
I'm not going to admit that out loud. Oh, I just did.
Korea kept us in shape for sure. In fact, traveling is one of the main activities that we do while living abroad, and choosing to walk rather than to take public transportation has often been something that's kept us in shape. So now that we are able to go out and travel, what we're coming across is a very big obstacle called logistics. And logistics is something that we're going to get a handle on, but we haven't gotten there just quite yet.
There's really like a lot of factors that we didn't take into consideration when we started traveling here. Our schedule.
We are working a 9-to-5 job, so to speak, but we are Monday through Friday, so we have the weekends off, like the majority of people in Taiwan, it seems. So when it's time for us to go out and travel, we can only have the weekends to do it, or the holidays that Taiwan provides. And it's just not as many as I think we got in Vietnam.
I think we did get a lot more holidays. And then I think Korea also had a lot more holidays where we were able to go out and explore.
Public transportation and movement across the island of Taiwan is far different for us than what we've experienced. In Vietnam, we could pick up and just go on our motorbike if we wanted to. And in South Korea, we just went to the bus depot and just pointed to a bus, and we always knew there was going to be a bus available. That's not the case here. Taiwan has excellent public transportation. I mean, fantastic. It's so good, in fact, that so many people take it that things sell out. So we actually have to plan far in advance, which we're not used to. We're used to saying, I feel like taking a trip. Let's go. Let's go see that mountaintop. Let's go to this forest. Let's go here. And we just get up and go. And unfortunately, there's a lot of competition when it comes to traveling out there. And I don't want to make this a us versus them kind of situation, but they've got the advantage. They really know how to plan and work the logistics of Taiwan. We're getting there. We're going to figure this out.
Another thing that we have to consider is the cost to travel within Taiwan. Now, the prices that we pay to travel are nothing compared to what we would pay in America. But in all of the places that we live, it is still significantly more expensive than Korea or Vietnam.
And on top of that, we make less of a wage here than we did in the other countries, and our expenses are a little bit higher. If we took a weekend trip in South Korea and we hopped on a bus and headed to a mountain to hike, and then we missed the last bus back home, well, we wouldn't have to pay for a hotel room at like $100 a pop. We could go to a jjimjilbang, and they are like saunas. If you don't know about them, just look them up. They're saunas, and they have sleeping areas as well, and they are relatively inexpensive. Well, incredibly inexpensive.
$5. It's like $5 for the evening.
I don't think I ever paid more than $10. So you don't worry about missing the last bus out. So if you don't make it to the summit and you swear you were going to make it to the summit this time, then you just go ahead and risk it all, and you go to the top of the mountain, and then you see your last bus pull away and you think, yes, jjimjilbang time. And to mention Vietnam again, With all the options of travel there, as you were saying before, like the motorbike, you could rent a car with a driver. Okay.
Yeah, literally.
Very inexpensive. And if you wanted to, if you missed your last bus or you didn't feel like driving because you exhausted yourself having way too much fun, then you would get a traveler hotel. And the traveler hotels are a little bit like the Love Motels in South Korea, but they were only $10. So we didn't spend more than $10. There's this aspect of cost that keeps factoring into us deciding when we're going to travel, because if we travel and we miss a bus, we're out a lot more money, and it's just not necessarily something that we can afford. Even if we could afford, we want to pay it because a bus sold out or we didn't get a ferry ticket. Like we see other travelers that come to Taiwan and they've run into the same issue. We've seen other YouTube videos of people saying, oh, we had to stay on Green Island a few extra days because it was Dragon Boat Festival and there weren't enough ferries. Even though they had put on extra ferries for them, they still didn't have enough room for themselves to get back to mainland Taiwan. So they had to stay and pay extra money, and it seemed quite expensive. We don't want to do that. We don't want to make those kind of mistakes.
Not to mention, our trips, 99% of the time, they were not planned. Literally walk the bus terminal and be like, well,
where's that?
Yeah, let's go. So we're looking up things to do while we're on the bus. Looking up the city. What do we know about it? Nothing.
And that's something you can't do so much in Taiwan.
You can't.
Because things sell out. Again, it's because it's great transportation and a lot of people want to take it.
And I didn't realize people go home.
Oh, right.
Like they go home every weekend. Teachers that I work with are like, no, I went to Taipei this weekend because my mom and dad are there.
You had to buy business class to go pick up product to Taipei.
I thought that I would be doing justice by arriving at the high-speed rail early in the morning to take the first train out to get to Taipei, but that was not the case.
No, the commuter train was sold out, and you had to go.
The commuter train was sold out.
And you had to go business class seats.
Yes.
Fancy, fancy.
Well, it was a high-speed rail. The line was through the roof. It was so long. I had never seen anything like that before, and I kept looking at the tally, and all I saw was 8 a.m. sold out. 8:20 a.m. sold out. 9 a.m. sold out. And I was like, shit. Oh, sorry. I don't know if I can say that.
Putting all those pieces of the puzzle together so that we get to our destination and that we can get home. The traveling aspect, making sure we book a hotel. So we find a place we want to go. We pick the destination, right? Boom, pick the destination. All right, let's pick a hotel. We rented the hotel. Did you reserve the hotel? Reserved. Crap, there's no tickets for trains. Can you get your money back? I don't know, let's find out. So that happens with all aspects of the trip. That happens with ferries, that happens with trains, that happens with hotel rooms, buses. We're figuring it out though, because we made it. We made it to Green Island. Here we are on top of Green Island.
Skin of our chinny chin chin. So we are here. We are really happy to be on Green Island. We are thoroughly enjoying this place. It is magical and it's beautiful. But if Justin and I had to be honest, Green Island was not exactly our first choice.
No, there were other places that we tried to go first, and you can see that here.
Justin!
Leah!
Dude, okay, first of all, it's like new. What are you doing?
I'm playing with the new camera.
Oh my god. Alright, hear me out. I know it's one day before Chinese New Year, but what do you think about booking a last minute trip to go somewhere?
Are you serious?
Yes.
Are you serious?
Yes.
Where are we gonna find the last minute?
So, what about if I look at some places in Hualien where we went last year and let's see if we can find something?
Okay. It's your Sunday afternoon. So, did you find a room yet?
As a matter of fact, Negative Nelly, I did.
Really?
I did. And it's the same lady that we had last time.
Aww.
Yay.
Hualien it is.
So now all I have to do is book our train tickets.
Sweet.
You're welcome.
No. Say that again for the camera.
Justin.
Say it again for the camera.
There are no train tickets available to Hualien for Chinese New Year.
No, you don't say there, Bobby.
That doesn't mean that we can't try somewhere else.
Okay.
So, what do you think about Kenting?
Kenting. I knew you were going to say Kenting.
Okay.
All right, Kenting it is.
All right, coming. Look at this.
Ooh, what is it? I can't see it.
$3,592.
A night?
$3,592.
Okay. Okay, I don't think we're going to Kenting. There was one on there for 80 though. I saw that.
It has 1 star out of 5. I don't even know if this is like a real place. It's just a mattress on the floor in a room. Not for $80, Justin. Not for $80. Ta-da!
Round 3.
Oh, stop!
Round 3. How are we doing for Taiwan?
No.
I don't think we're gonna get to go anywhere during the holiday.
Wait a minute. Justin, have you ever heard of Green Island?
Green Island. Yeah, it's an island. Okay, you want to go to an island in the middle of winter.
Well, so it's right off of the city of Taiwan.
Okay.
So it would be easy to get a train, and the hotels there are really cheap.
Train ticket.
Yeah.
Hotel.
Yes.
Ferry ticket. You gonna logisticize all that?
Shit. Okay.
Now we're at 7-Eleven to get tickets for the ferry. Hopefully there's no issues like it was last time. Did you see that? This is how early we need to be up in order for this logistical challenge to be met. That's 4:03 in the AM.
I don't know where we're gonna sit.
Two trains, one motorbike ride, now bus, then ferry, and then we should be on Green Island. This boat has a reputation for being a little rocky.
So you've just seen the logistical puzzle that we had to put together just to get here to Green Island.
But what you didn't see is the technical issues that often arise when we're trying to put a nice weekend trip together. We tried to order our tickets for the ferry online, and when it came time to put the payment in, the payment timed out. So we solicited our friend Sunday. She says, okay, you just need to go to the IBAN machine and pay for these. Our tickets had been canceled. She had to call on our behalf to the ferry company and say, hey, what happened? They couldn't explain what happened, some kind of technical glitch. But it's not the first time that has happened to us. We've missed out on traveling because of these fine technicalities that are just kind of driving us crazy.
So planning ahead is a great idea. There might be some technical issues that you should plan to have a contingency for.
First morning on the island. What's the plan?
I figure we would take a drive around the island, see where we can get maybe something to eat, and maybe see how big or small the island is, find some tourist spots and take a few pictures, do a few videos.